All right, welcome back, Smokin' Sassy. Today, we are celebrating.
What are we celebrating?
You know what? I don't care. It could be Valentine's Day. It could be a promotion. It could be anything.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, but the thing is, a lot of times we want to go to a restaurant to celebrate. And, you know, sometimes that's just cost prohibitive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is we are making a beautiful, beautiful, easy beef Wellington. We're doing it individual sized with fondant potatoes. And, you know, I love beef Wellington, but I also love these fondant potatoes.
What the hell's a fondant potato?
It is a French cooking process where it's crunchy on the outside and then creamy and delicious on the inside.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So, you know, just in case you don't watch till the end, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't, stop, subscribe, and hit that notify bell right now, right this second, and then you can celebrate by making yourself a delicious meal.
That's right. That's right. Just celebrate becoming a subscriber.
Yeah. So let's do it. So the ingredients for the fondant potatoes is really easy. I'm going to be using thyme, slightly or very thinly sliced garlic, some butter, broth. Now the broth that you're going to use for your fondant potatoes is going to depend upon which type of meat you're going to serve it with. So I'm going to be using beef broth because we're going to be serving it with our beef Wellington, but if you're going to serve it with chicken, then use chicken broth. The key though, really and truly for me that makes mine unique is that I'm going to be using a lemon, pepper, salt. Now this is a really interesting thing for me. People have a tendency to want to buy a lot of spices that they don't need to buy. So, you know, one of my things that I kind of giggle about a little bit is like you're going to buy garlic powder, you're going to buy salt, you're going to buy garlic salt. You don't need to necessarily buy those combinations because they're very easy to make. So if you're going to buy combinations of spices, I'm going to say look for your hook spices where you're going to get unique blends. But the things that you can make easily, make them yourself. This is zested lemon peel with salt and pepper mixed in, and it's absolutely amazing. And what it does for these fondant potatoes is it just really and truly takes it up a notch, something that you won't get even in a restaurant, and you're going to absolutely love it. So I'm going to recommend it. The other thing about this lemon salt pepper that you make is you can add it to so many things. I love it on top of my chicken. I'll put it on top of pasta. You know, pretty much anything that lemon goes well with, this is really a great addition. Okay, once the oil is nice and hot, where we're gonna get a nice applause when we put the potatoes in it, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna put our potatoes in face down, right? Or cut side down. And we're gonna let them sit for about 5 minutes until they get nice and golden and brown on the bottom. So we're gonna just let them sit. And this is the hard part, is you have to let them sit, right? Don't mess with them, don't flip them, don't do anything. Let them just sit and get golden brown. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to flip our potatoes, right? So if we look at them, oh, that one's about there, but you really want a nice golden brown, and then you're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna flip. Nice golden brown, we're gonna flip. Whoops, that one wanted to go on the side. Get them in a second. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just continue flipping. Okay, now that we've flipped all the potatoes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add our thyme right directly into the pot. And because we're using fresh thyme, it's okay to use a little bit more than you would normally think. We're gonna add our thinly sliced garlic into the pot. And about 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that start to melt. This is a little bit more risky, fun part, I guess, is we're gonna start to add our stock. Now, again, I'm using beef stock. If I was gonna be cooking chicken with this, I would be using chicken stock. And now I'm gonna just baste my potatoes. Let the butter melt, baste the potatoes.
And this whole time you've been keeping the heat on a low setting, correct?
I have, well, medium.
Okay.
And the overall writing idea on this is that you want to have a nice, pretty, crunchy outside and a creamy, delicious inside. One thing I didn't mention earlier, and I probably should now, is that the pan that you use does not have to be cast iron, but it does need to be oven proof, and it needs to be oven proof at a very high temperature. Okay, I'm going to remove the garlic and the thyme. Or at least most of it. And the reason I'm going to do that is I don't want anything burning, because that's going to leave a bitter taste, of course. Hit it with my lemon pepper right here on top a little bit. Let it just do its thing. I'm going to reserve a little bit of it for the final presentation of it, just because I love it so much. I'm going to put it in the oven, the preheated oven at 425 degrees for about half hour, 45 minutes. But really and truly the answer is until it's fork tender. And while that's cooking, I'm going to start my beef Wellingtons. Okay, so the most time consuming part is making the caramelized onions.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to tell you absolutely have to make caramelized onions, but I'm going to tell you should, because hey, this is a pretty fancy dinner, right? It's Valentine's Day,
right,
or whatever special occasion you want to make it for. So the way that you're going to make caramelized onions is you're going to slice up your onions. You're going to put them in a pan with about a teaspoon of oil and a teaspoon of butter. You're going to put them on a low heat and you're going to stir them.
Okay.
About 10 minutes in, you're going to add salt and you're going to stir. You're going to let them cook for about half hour to an hour. And you're going to stir them about every 5 minutes. Don't let them burn, so don't go watch TV, and don't stir them too much. And just slowly, slowly let them caramelize. It's worth it. It is so worth it. So I'm going to put these on the stove and we're going to caramelize them, and then we're going to let them cool a little bit, and then we're going to start making the beef Wellingtons.
Sounds great.
Okay. Okay, so now we have our caramelized onions, and really and truly you can do this the night before, you can do it 2 nights before. Once you have caramelized onions, sometimes you're just going to have them just because you're going to love them and use them for so many different things. Now I've added some garlic to this. A lot of times when you do beef Wellingtons, you're also going to add some mushrooms and you're going to saute them up in there. We have mushroom allergies here, so we're not going to use any mushrooms.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing is, let's talk about steak, because steak is absolutely going to matter. When you're doing something for a special occasion, it is worth spending the money for really good steak. And because we're doing individual Wellingtons, what I did was I went and bought prime filet mignon.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, so it's worth it. And honestly, that's all I can say. It's prime, it's worth it. If you were to go buy these in the store, if you were to go to a restaurant, to get this is a very expensive meal. So yeah, why not treat yourself? I went ahead and I seared this on both sides, and that's going to help keep the juices in when it's in the oven.
Okay.
And so, it's just going to help make it a little bit better. You're going to put this on some puff pastry. I rolled the puff pastry out to make it a little bit thinner because I don't want a ton of pastry. So just enough to make it yummy and really give it that beef Wellington flavor. And now I'm just going to add my caramelized onion and garlic. If you have mushrooms in it, add that. And I'm just going to put that right there on the top. My beef Wellingtons is for more of the common man. So a lot of times, people will put liver pate on it. I'm not a big liver person, so I chose not to do it, right? If you're a liver person, put your liver on it. Now we're going to fold it up. And I'm going to tell you, this is true story. I am lousy at folding. So
and wrapping in general.
And wrapping in general, right? I have a friend that will come and rewrap my Christmas presents. So mine are not going to be as pretty as some people. It's okay. It's all right. You do you. I'm going to be me. But I'm gonna actually kind of cut this as a T because I found it's a little bit prettier when I do that. So I'm gonna be able to just pull this up. And I'm gonna pull that up. If your puff pastry gets a little bit too dense or whatever, you can always put it back in the fridge for just a little bit, but it does have to be thawed as you're working with it. A little bit of egg wash to help it all stick together. And now we're going to have a nice, pretty, or you know, for me it's pretty. I'm happy with it.
Looks good to me.
Yeah. So a nice, pretty little package.
I've never had beef Wellington, either a restaurant or homemade or.
Oh,
so
you're in for such a treat. Such a treat. So folks, you know, I talk about this being a celebratory meal. It doesn't have to be, you know, Valentine's Day or I have to make this for a group of people. Sometimes it's okay just to celebrate me. And so don't be afraid to do this just for one person. Okay, I'm just gonna put these on a baking sheet. I'm gonna put it in the oven for 400 degrees. For rare, I'm gonna cook them for about 12 minutes. For a medium, I'm gonna cook them for about 16 minutes. But don't be afraid to just check the temperature as you go.
All right.
All right, now, the thing about the beef Wellington is I know that everybody likes different degrees of doneness. The traditional way of doing it though actually is a pretty rare meat.
Well, especially if you got a fillet in there, you would want it rare, medium rare at the most.
Yeah, yeah, and absolutely, you guys, if you're gonna want a well done steak, don't do beef Wellington. It's just, you're gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
So should we try it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I got a knife here for you.
Perfect. So this piece, yeah, it's more of just the onions, so I'm going to cut in a little bit deeper. Maybe a little overdone.
A little, yeah, slightly, but that's all right.
Yeah, it'll do. Do you want that piece?
Sure.
Okay.
I want half that piece.
Okay, well, let's cut it in half and we'll share. Especially since we have significant others here that are thinking, hey, are you guys sharing with us? Maybe.
That is really good. I know earlier you said the onions are optional, but that really, I think the onions are amazing. So I wouldn't say it's optional.
Take the time to caramelize your onions.
Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, look at that. So I know she sprinkled some more of that lemon pepper you made on there as a garnishment.
I did, and you know, that's my touch, and I really think it adds a flavor level that you just don't get anywhere else.
That is really good. Yeah, definitely soft on the inside. I like that a lot. We never cook potatoes this way, but we might have to give it a try.
Folks, this is worth celebrating all by itself.
Yes, it is. You know, there is a special day coming up for couples, so this might be a great idea if you just want to stay home and avoid the crowd. I think Valentine's Day's on a weekend or something this time.
Yep, and save yourself $100.
Exactly.
So, you guys taste, savor, and enjoy.
We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.